Imagine a land where the boundaries between myth and reality blur, a place so treacherous and enigmatic that even the bravest souls have vanished without a trace. Deep in the heart of the Amazon rainforest, a British explorer risked everything chasing an obsession that consumed his very being, the legendary lost city of Zed. This is the story of Percy Fawcett, a man whose relentless passion for discovery led him into the depths of one of the world's most impenetrable jungles. His expeditions, marked by daring feats and mysterious clues, culminated in a final journey from which he, and his closest companions, never returned. Today, we peel back the layers of history, myth, and modern intrigue to uncover the truth behind Fawcett's fabled search. Stay tuned, because what you're about to discover will challenge everything you thought you knew about exploration, legend, and the human thirst for adventure. Born in 1867 in Devon, England, Percy Harrison Fawcett was not destined for an ordinary life. Raised in an environment steeped in both aristocratic tradition and a relentless hunger for adventure, Fawcett would soon find that the call of the unknown was too powerful to ignore. After graduating from the Royal Military Academy at Woolwich, he embarked on a military career that took him to far-flung corners of the British Empire. But it wasn't the battlefield that ignited his true passion, it was the lure of undiscovered lands and lost civilizations. Fawcett's early career was marked by assignments in remote regions. His work as a surveyor and cartographer in places like Morocco and India honed his skills and set the stage for what would become his lifelong obsession with exploration. Yet, it was South America that beckoned him with the promise of hidden worlds and ancient secrets. The legend of a lost civilization, an advanced society built by a people who defied the very limits of nature, had haunted European imaginations for centuries. Tales of golden cities and mysterious ruins, often dismissed as fanciful myth, stirred something deep within Fawcett's heart. Among these, one legend stood out. The lost city of Zed, according to early accounts passed down by Spanish conquistadors and indigenous legends alike. Somewhere in the vast, uncharted jungle lay a metropolis of astonishing sophistication. In the early 20th century, many dismissed such stories as mere myth. Yet Fawcett saw them differently. His encounters with indigenous peoples and his own discoveries of ancient relics suggested that there might be more truth to these legends than history had ever admitted. As he pored over manuscripts and oral traditions, Fawcett became convinced that remnants of a once thriving civilization still lay hidden beneath the green canopy of the Amazon. One document in particular, Manuscript 512, an 18th century account written by Portuguese explorers, described the ruins of a lost city with arches, statues, and mysterious hieroglyphs. For Fawcett, this was not a mere story, but a tantalizing breadcrumb left behind by time itself. In 1906, driven by his fervor for discovery, Fawcett embarked on his first expedition into the uncharted jungles of South America. Sponsored initially by the Royal Geographical Society, these early journeys were not just about mapping territories, they were about challenging the very notion of what was possible. Over the course of nearly 2 decades, Fawcett led a series of expeditions deep into the Amazon, exploring regions that had never before been touched by modern man. His journeys were marked by both incredible triumphs and unyielding hardships. On one expedition, Fawcett and his small band of explorers encountered the harsh realities of the Amazon, a realm where the land itself seems determined to reclaim all traces of human civilization. Sweltering heat, relentless rain, venomous creatures, and the ever-present threat of hostile encounters with indigenous tribes made every step a fight for survival. Despite these dangers, Fawcett's charisma and resourcefulness won him the trust and respect of many native tribes. He learned their languages, traded gifts, and often relied on their guidance to navigate the labyrinthine jungle. His interactions were not always peaceful, misunderstandings and cultural clashes did occur, but Fawcett was known for his respectful, albeit sometimes paternalistic, attitude toward the people he met. One of the key elements that drove Fawcett was his belief that the Amazon was not an impenetrable wilderness devoid of order, but a living archive of a forgotten civilization. His growing collection of artifacts, his careful mapping of the terrain, and the mysterious clues he uncovered along the way only deepened his conviction that the lost city of Zed was real. Fawcett's expeditions became legendary. In one such journey, he claimed to have seen colossal anacondas and other bizarre creatures that defied conventional zoology. Tales that would later inspire even the likes of Arthur Conan Doyle's The Lost World. Though many of his observations were met with skepticism by the scientific community, they only served to fuel his relentless pursuit of Zed. Each step into the jungle felt like peeling back the layers of time, revealing not only the secrets of a lost civilization but also the raw, untamed beauty of nature. For Fawcett, every river, every hill, and every ruined structure whispered the secrets of ancient peoples who had once built great cities in defiance of their surroundings. But what exactly was Zed? To understand Fawcett's obsession, we must delve into the origins of the legend itself. The term Zed was not coined by Fawcett. Long before his time, European explorers and conquistadors had heard whispers of a grand city hidden deep in the jungle. They spoke of a metropolis so rich and advanced that its splendor could only be compared to the great cities of the ancient world. In the accounts of early Spanish chroniclers, there were tantalizing hints of cities of gold, elaborate temples, and vast networks of roads and causeways. These stories, though often dismissed as exaggerations, began to take on a life of their own in the public imagination. When Fawcett discovered manuscript 512, a document dating back to 1753 that detailed the ruins of an ancient city in Brazil, he found a powerful piece of evidence that seemed to validate the legend. Manuscript 512 described a city with grand arches, intricate statues, and a temple adorned with hieroglyphs. Although the document did not reveal the precise location of this lost metropolis, it provided enough detail to ignite Fawcett's imagination and convince him that remnants of this advanced civilization might still exist, hidden in the unyielding jungle. For Fawcett, Zed became a symbol of everything that was possible, the embodiment of a mystery waiting to be solved, a challenge that defied the limits of modern exploration. It was the ultimate prize, proof that an ancient civilization, lost to time and swallowed by nature, once flourished in the Amazon. The notion of Zed resonated deeply in an era when exploration was at its peak. The early 20th century was a time of rapid scientific discovery and imperial ambition. Yet, even as modernity spread, vast regions of the world remained shrouded in mystery. Fawcett's belief in Zed was not merely a flight of fancy. It was a quest for the truth that lay hidden beneath layers of myth and centuries of neglect. This wasn't just about treasure or glory. Fawcett believed that uncovering Zed would offer insights into an entirely different way of life, one that had mastered the art of thriving in one of the most inhospitable environments on Earth. The civilization that built Zed was thought to be highly advanced, with sophisticated agricultural techniques, urban planning, and a rich cultural heritage. In many ways, the lost city represented a counterpoint to the European notion of civilization, a civilization not built on conquest or industrial might, but one that was deeply integrated with nature. The legend of Zed would come to capture the imagination of generations to come, inspiring books, films, and endless debate among historians, archaeologists, and adventurers alike. Fawcett's quest was as much about the pursuit of knowledge as it was about the thrill of the unknown. By the early 1920s, after years of successful, and sometimes harrowing, expeditions, Fawcett's obsession with the lost city of Zed reached its zenith. Despite previous setbacks and moments of harrowing doubt, he was undeterred. In 1924, he organized what would be his final expedition, a journey that would forever etch his name into the annals of exploration, albeit for its mystery rather than its success. This expedition was different. Fawcett took along only his eldest son, Jack, and his son's closest friend, Raleigh Rimmel. With a small, light team, Fawcett believed he could traverse the jungle more quietly and avoid drawing the attention of potentially hostile indigenous groups. Their objective was clear: to follow the last vestiges of the trail that might lead to Zed. On April 20, 1925, Fawcett's party set out from Cuiabá in Brazil, armed with minimal supplies, a compass, maps, and a boundless determination to find the lost city. For weeks, they made their way deeper into the Mato Grosso, a region where modern maps faded into the unknown, and every step forward was a step into history. But as they pressed further, the jungle grew more forbidding. The humid air, the ceaseless buzz of insects, and the omnipresent danger lurking behind every tree conspired against their progress. Fawcett wrote in one of his last letters, a message to his wife filled with the unwavering optimism that had defined his life: "You need have no fear of failure." That message was a final beacon of hope, a promise that even in the face of insurmountable odds, he would not be deterred. Yet, as the expedition crossed the upper reaches of the Xingu River and entered territories rarely seen by Europeans, all contact was lost. For nearly 2 years, the fate of Fawcett's party remained a mystery. Rumors abounded. Some claimed that they had been ambushed by hostile tribes, while others believed that the unforgiving jungle had claimed them one slow, agonizing day at a time. Over the decades, scattered artifacts, a nameplate, a discarded compass, were found, yet no definitive evidence of their fate ever emerged. The disappearance of Percy Fawcett, his son Jack, and Raleigh Rimmel is one of history's most enduring enigmas. Was it a tragic accident, a miscalculation of nature's indomitable force? Or was there a darker twist, a clash of cultures that led to their demise? Some accounts suggest that Fawcett's expectation that indigenous peoples would care for them without the proper tokens of respect may have led to unforeseen conflicts. Others propose that his small group was simply too vulnerable to survive in such an unforgiving environment. The truth remains locked in the depths of the Amazon, a secret guarded by the relentless jungle itself. Despite numerous rescue missions and decades of searching, no one has ever conclusively determined what became of the intrepid explorer and his companions. Their disappearance only added to the legend of Zed, turning it into a symbol of ultimate sacrifice and the unpredictable power of nature. Today, Percy Fawcett's legacy lives on, not just as a cautionary tale of hubris in the face of nature, but as an enduring inspiration for modern adventurers and researchers. His quest for the lost city of Zed has been revisited time and again, most notably in David Grann's best-selling book, The Lost City of Zed, a tale of deadly obsession in the Amazon. Grann's meticulous research and his own journey into the heart of the Amazon have rekindled public fascination with Fawcett's mystery and raised new questions about what might still lie hidden beneath the jungle floor. In recent years, technological advances such as LiDAR, light detection and ranging, have revolutionized our ability to peer beneath the dense canopy of the rainforest. Aerial surveys using LiDAR have uncovered vast networks of ancient settlements, intricate roadways, and geometric earthworks that suggest the Amazon was once home to highly organized, populous civilizations. Some archaeologists now speculate that these findings may be related to the legends that Fawcett pursued. Could it be that Zed wasn't a myth at all, but a real, albeit long abandoned, urban center? The discoveries made by modern researchers lend credence to Fawcett's theories. Excavations in regions near the Xingu River, for example, have revealed remnants of sophisticated agricultural practices and urban planning. These ruins, often swallowed by the jungle, hint at a lost chapter of human civilization that was far more advanced than previously believed. Moreover, Fawcett's own writings, filled with detailed observations and sketches, have become invaluable records of a bygone era. They offer not only a glimpse into the mind of a fearless explorer but also into a world where legends were as tangible as the very maps he painstakingly drew. His legacy is one of both inspiration and warning, a reminder that the drive to explore can sometimes lead to perilous, irreversible consequences. Fawcett's story also serves as a cultural touchstone, influencing everything from classic adventure literature to blockbuster films. The narrative of a relentless explorer chasing a dream has echoed through the ages, inspiring tales like Arthur Conan Doyle's The Lost World and even elements of the Indiana Jones franchise. Yet, Fawcett was not a fictional hero. He was a real man, a man whose passion, daring, and, ultimately, his tragic disappearance continue to captivate us today. There are, however, those who criticize Fawcett's methods and his sometimes controversial views. Some modern scholars argue that his interpretations of indigenous cultures were tainted by the biases of his era. His belief in a lost, advanced civilization, they say, was more a projection of European romanticism than an objective analysis of archaeological evidence. Nevertheless, even as opinions differ, there is no denying the powerful impact his story has had on our collective imagination. The mystery of Percy Fawcett and the lost city of Zed has spawned countless theories, debates, and even conspiracy theories over the years. Some believe that Fawcett intentionally vanished, seeking to leave behind his old life and embrace a new existence among indigenous tribes, a notion bolstered by anecdotal accounts of sightings among local communities. Others are convinced that he was brutally killed by hostile tribes, whose anger was kindled by cultural misunderstandings and the lack of proper exchange gifts. Accounts from various indigenous groups sometimes contradict one another. Oral traditions passed down among the Kalapalo, for instance, recount strange encounters with white men who left behind eerie remnants of their presence. Some tribes claim that Fawcett's party was seen making campfires that burned for days before suddenly ceasing, an omen, they say, that the jungle had reclaimed its own. These conflicting narratives only add to the allure and perplexity of his disappearance. Adding another layer to the mystery is the fate of the artifacts left behind. Over the years, items such as a nameplate and a theodolite, tools Fawcett used on his expeditions, have surfaced among indigenous communities. While some see these as evidence that Fawcett may have been assimilated into local culture, others view them as tragic relics of an explorer who underestimated the power of the jungle. Modern researchers continue to sift through these clues. Archaeologists employing state-of-the-art technology are mapping the remnants of lost settlements, trying to determine whether any of these sites could indeed be the fabled Zed. The tantalizing possibility that Fawcett might have come upon, if only unknowingly, a major ancient urban center spurs further research and debate. One cannot discuss Fawcett's legacy without acknowledging the cultural and cinematic impact his story has had. In 2009, David Grann's book The Lost City of Zed reintroduced the world to Fawcett's enigma, blending meticulous research with a gripping narrative that brought new life to an old mystery. The book's success led to a major motion picture in 2016, directed by James Gray and starring Charlie Hunnam as Fawcett, a film that, while dramatized, captures the spirit of the explorer's obsession and the daunting challenge of the Amazon. Critics of Fawcett, however, caution against romanticizing his quest. They argue that the allure of the lost city may have clouded his judgment, leading him to overlook practical realities in favor of a tantalizing myth. Yet, it is precisely this blend of ambition, mystery, and human fallibility that makes his story so compelling. His relentless pursuit of an impossible dream, despite overwhelming odds, reflects a timeless aspect of human nature, the desire to explore, to understand, and to leave our mark on the world. What lessons can we draw from the life and legacy of Percy Fawcett? His story is one of extremes, a tale of boundless optimism and a cautionary chronicle of human ambition. On one hand, Fawcett embodies the spirit of exploration. His fearless ventures into the unknown remind us that the pursuit of knowledge often comes at a high price. He dared to believe that even the most impenetrable mysteries could be unraveled, and in doing so, He paved the way for modern explorers and archaeologists who continue to challenge our understanding of the past. On the other hand, his disappearance underscores the formidable power of nature. The Amazon rainforest, with its impenetrable foliage and unpredictable dangers, remains one of the most formidable environments on Earth. It is a place where the forces of nature hold sway over man, where every discovery is tempered by the harsh reality that nature ultimately reclaims all. Fawcett's journey also forces us to consider the limitations of our own perspectives. His interpretation of indigenous cultures and his insistence on the existence of a lost, advanced civilization were colored by the biases of his time. Today, we recognize that history is far more nuanced, and that the achievements of non-Western civilizations deserve acknowledgement on their own terms. The modern quest to understand the Amazon's past is as much about correcting historical oversights as it is about uncovering ancient ruins. His story compels us to ask, what price are we willing to pay for the pursuit of knowledge? How do we balance ambition with respect for the natural world and the cultures that have thrived within it? Fawcett's legacy is not simply a relic of a bygone era of exploration. It is a mirror reflecting our own eternal curiosity and the inherent risks of chasing legends. The lost city of Zed remains as elusive today as it did nearly a century ago. Percy Fawcett's fate may never be fully known. His last footsteps lost among the verdant, unforgiving sprawl of the Amazon. Yet his story continues to resonate, reminding us that some mysteries are meant to endure, fueling our imaginations and challenging our limits. For every modern LiDAR scan that reveals hidden ruins beneath the jungle canopy, there is a whisper of Fawcett's undying belief that the jungle conceals secrets far beyond our understanding. His journey teaches us that exploration is not merely about finding what has been lost. It is about expanding the boundaries of human knowledge, daring to dream in the face of overwhelming odds, and accepting that sometimes, the greatest discoveries are the questions we never quite answer. As we reflect on his legacy, we also celebrate the spirit of adventure that continues to drive explorers and researchers around the globe. Whether or not the lost city of Zed is ever found, Percy Fawcett's life remains a testament to the human desire to seek out the unknown, to challenge the impossible, and to embrace the mystery of our past. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the heart of the Amazon and the depths of one man's obsession. If you enjoyed this deep dive into history's most enduring mysteries, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss our next episode of History Unveiled. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and never stop uncovering the secrets of our past.